Hi, welcome to my channel, Ruby Stedman. Today I'll be teaching you how to finger knit this beautiful hat. Is with the booklet yarn. It's very easy to do and it looks amazing and very fast to do as well. I hope you guys like it and give it a try, and here is the list of material you're gonna need to make it. If you are not already a subscriber, please subscribe and click on the little bell. That way you get notification each time I upload a video. Remember, I do my videos in Spanish and English, so if you receive a Spanish video, look on the main page of my channel, then you're gonna find the version of that video in English as well. So let's start finger knitting this beautiful hat. To do this hat, I'm gonna use loops and thread loops boucle. Is the ones that you do with your finger, not tool knitted. It's 82% acrylic, 13% nylon, 5% polyester, 100 grams, and the color is vanilla beans. It's super bulky 6. You're gonna need scissors. Now, if you have arthritis and it's very difficult for you to do it with your finger, you can use a 8mm crochet hook and you can use it to do the hat. I will show you both way, okay? We're gonna start with our scissors. We're gonna open two of these boucle in here like this. I'm gonna open two. That's to secure my work like that, okay? Now we're gonna start the border of our hat to make the circumference of our head, around the forehead, all the way around, to create a circle. So if this thing is don't stretch, and you need something that is stretched, that way you can put your hat on, and it's not too big, you know, that you have to make too many and then the hat will fall off because it's too wide. What you're gonna do, you're gonna work with these three to start with, and we're gonna create a border. So these three, you're gonna grab the first one and the third one, and you're gonna pass the third one inside the first one, like so. Now the next one, you're gonna pass to this one here. And like that is how we're gonna create the border. We're gonna continue working in these two stitches or loop. The next one, go to the top. And I hope you guys can see well. And the next one, go to the one under. The next one, go to the top, and the next one, go to the one under. The next one, go to the top, and the next one to the one under. And like that, you're going to continue until you have the circumference of your head, or the person's head that you're making this hat. And you have to make sure that the stitches that you are making in here are even number or multiple of 2. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4 in here. So I will continue until I have multiple of 2 even. So if you look now, we have a stretchy material here. Okay. So now if you want to do this with a crochet hook because you have arthritis, and I know working like this is you get your finger a little cramp, even if you don't have arthritis. You can do with a crochet hook the same. I have here this 8mm, so again you're gonna work with these three. You pass your hook through the first one, you go to the third one, and you pass it through. And then you place it here, you go to the one under, and go to the next one, and you're going to pass it through. Come to the top, and go to the next one, pass it through. Even with the crochet hook is faster. Go to the next one, go to this one, and you're going to pass it through. And like that, exactly that, the same, you see. You're going to continue all the way until you have your desired circumference. I'm going to show you one more time, just in case you don't got it the first time. We're going to work with these 3 to start with. And remember, you have to cut a tail just by clipping in here. So you're going to grab the first one, you're going to skip the second one, and you're going to grab the third one, and you're going to pass it through the first one. And then the one under, you're going to pass the next one. And then, you see, you're going to do one in the top loop, one in the bottom loop, one in the top loop, and one in the bottom loop. And like that, you're going to continue until you have your circumference. As long as you have an even number, no problem. Okay? So you're going to continue doing this until you have the desired length. It's very easy. Here I have the circumference for my hat, and I have with these 2 and here that are open 32 stitches. Okay, so I'll count for you: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, and this one is 32 because now we're going to close those 2 with the next one, and that will make 32. Now we're going to close the circumference of our hat, and you have to make sure that it's not twisted. You see, it's perfect with the stitches up like this. Like that. Okay, so you're going to close the circumference by grabbing the next stitch and pass it through the back strand of this. And you see you have one in the front, one in the back. You're going to pass through the back strand, and like that you close the circumference, and then you're going to bring the next loop, pass it through the next stitch, and the next one through the next one. You're going to have, if you're doing exactly the same size as mine, you're going to have 32 of these stitches. So after I pass all of them, I will show you how you're going to close the circumference and here to close the hat. So again, you're going to continue doing this, pass it through the back strand all the way around, all the way like so. I forgot to show you, if you're doing it with the crochet hook, you come here in the back and you bring it to the front, just like that. And make sure that you don't leave any loops loose in the back, or any loop of this, any strand without one other loop. You have to have the same amount and even amount, okay, or multiple of 2. I finished with that round up for the circumference. Now we have to close this part in here, and I'm gonna hold these two. You see the first one and the second one, because this was the last one. So with the crochet hook, I'm gonna do this, that way it's easier for you guys to see. I'm gonna pass through these two, that tail, now I'm gonna grab the tail and I'm gonna pass it to the center of these two. Now you're gonna come in this side through this one here, you're gonna pass the tail again. We're recreating that stitch, and then again we're gonna pass this stitch through this one in here, or the tail, and then later you lose that tail and you create a stitch here. You see, they look like the other ones. Okay, now we're gonna start with row 1. So we're gonna start with row 1, and we're gonna do 1 net 1 purl, and if I move the tail from here, you can tell where it is in the seam pretty much. So this is the first one, and you're gonna do that one and net. So you're gonna bring the next loop, pull this one away, don't fall off. The next loop, the one that is loose, you're gonna pass it through the back to the front. Now the next one is a purl, so you're gonna bring the yarn and front at the next loop, and you're gonna pass the next loop from the front to the back, and that create a purl. Now again you pass your working yarn to the back at the next loop, and this loop go from the back to the front, and I hope you guys can see what I'm doing. You see, we are creating 1 net and 1 purl. Yarn to the front, and then this is loop, you bring this one from the front to the back. The next one you bring to the back, and then from the back to the front, and like that you're going to continue working 1 net 1 purl until you get to the last stitch. And that's why I mentioned that you need even number, because if you start with a net you have to finish with so I will show you one more time. And the next 2 loops is when the yarn is, I pull this one almost out, you see, from the back to the front, you bring the yarn to the front, and the next 2 loops you want to pass it the one from the working yarn to the back. And if you're working with a crochet hook, because your hands get painful or something like that, you come in the same, you have to pass the yarn the same from the front, bring this one to the front, pass your hook this one, and bring the next one to the back. I skip one. You see, you have to make sure that you don't skip one. It's this one. There go to the back. You have to work all your stitches. So like that, you're gonna continue working 1 net 1 purl all the way to the last one. You see, you can see the nets and purls. Here I finished the first row, and here is the working yarn. So you go to the first stitch, this always the first stitch, and you can guide yourself because the first stitch is in between the tail and here, these two, okay? And you already have a net here, so it's really easy to follow. So you're gonna do again, yarn from the back to the front and net, from the front to the back a purl, from the back to the front and net, and from the front to the back a purl, and make sure that you don't skip any stitches or you make any mistake. Okay, with this you have to pay attention because it's really easy to leave loops or do two purl or two net and without realizing, and then you have to undo most of your work. So this is the stitch that we're going to do for our hat, and you want to work this until you have the desired length that you need for your hat before we start the decrease on the top. Okay, so I'm going to continue doing this over and over. Here I've done a little bit. This one so far so good, and I love the way I look the stitch. So I still have to do quite a few more round to go, and then so far 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 with the one in here, and I have to do a little bit more before I start the decrease. Here I have the desired length before I start my decrease, and I did 13 round. So 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11 12, and 13 is the one that open on the top. Okay, and here is exactly where I start. You see the tails is here, so this is the last purl and this is the first net. Now for the decrease, what we're gonna do is, you see that's the one that we worked last, so you're gonna grab this is loop and the next one, the net and the purl, put the net in front of the purl, and you're gonna grab the next loop, the empty loop here from the ball of yarn, and you're gonna pass it through those two, and that's your first decrease. Again, you go to the next two, the purl in the back and the net in the front, and you grab the next loop from the ball of yarn and you pass it through, and they start to look like this, the decrease. Again, you go to the next two, the net and the purl, put the net in the front and grab the next loop from the ball of yarn and pass it through, and like that you're going to continue doing this decrease, the next two, and always the net in front of the purl and the next loop through, and start to look like this, the decrease on the top of the hat. Here I did the last one. Now we're going to do the repetition again, but now there are two nets. You're going to grab these two nets, and always the one from the left hand under. You have those two loops. You're going to grab the next one coming from the ball of yarn and pass it through those two. Again, the next two. You see, I grab the one in my left hand under the one of the right hand and pass it through those two. And always the next loop, make sure that you don't skip one. So you grab this one and pass it through these two, and like that you're going to continue, and look how nice it start to look the crown of our hat. The last one gonna be a single one, but you can go to the first one that you did and pass it through those two. And this is what is left in the top. Now you can cut your yarn and leave 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, like 6 of these loops, and you're going to open them up. That way we can pass it through those loops in here and lose the tail. Now I'm going to lose the two tails, and the inside will look like this. And here in the top. And it's really nice and soft. And this is the leftover that I have. So I'm going to use this and another ball of yarn that I have like this one to do a neck warmer or a cowl for a matching set. So I'll be doing that one next week. So I will finish this and I will show you the end result. Well, this is the end result, and I love the way this hat look. Who say we did it with their fingers? If you tell somebody, they don't gonna believe you. It is gorgeous. So next week I want to do the matching neck warmer or cowl, and after that I want to buy another ball of yarn to do another hat, but doing these you know, cross them around to do a different design to it. But I really love this hat, and look at the crown at the top of the hat, how gorgeous that look. So I hope you guys like it, and give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel if you're not already a subscriber. And if you make this beautiful hat and you want to send me some pictures, you can do it through my Facebook page, Ruby Stem and Crochet, or my Instagram, Ruby Stem and Crochet. Please share my video with friends and family. That way you help me grow here in YouTube. I wish you have a beautiful day. Bye.